Hello! Welcome back to my channel. My name's Nidhi and today I want to tell you guys all of my favorite middle grade recommendations. Hi guys, Editing Nidhi here, hence the crazy hair and the camera quality. But I just wanted to pop in and before you watch this video, let you know that any and all AdSense I make from this video will be donated to Black Lives Matter organizations that are linked down below. If you have the means to donate, I encourage you to donate to those organizations. I don't ever want to be silent on my channel about political issues or things that matter to me. This is not a hashtag, it's not a trend, it's not an aesthetic for your feed, it's a movement and we must treat it as such. Below I'll also be linking petitions that haven't reached their signature limit yet that you can sign. If you don't have the means to donate, I will also be linking some videos where all of the AdSense will be donated to Black Lives Matter organizations so you can just stream it. If there is a protest in your area, I highly recommend you to go to it. I went to one this weekend. It was wonderful hearing Black stories and ways that they've been affected by my community. And if you are going to a protest, remember to be safe, know your rights, come prepared, and wear a mask. Right now, quite frankly, my voice is not the one that needs to be heard right now. We need to amplify Black voices and Black stories and understand the prejudice they go through every day. Below, I'll be linking playlists of Black booktubers you can watch and books written by Black authors. We must always be diversifying our reads, not just right now. In this video, I realized all the books mentioned were by white authors, and I think that says a lot about my childhood and the books that were available to me at the time. And that's just more of a reason of why we need to do better. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love you guys so much. Middle grade is simply an age range used for marketing. It usually means the protagonist in that book or in that age range. It doesn't mean that you can't pick it up because you're not in that age range, just like anybody can read young adult books. I don't know why or who put in these specific rules, whether you're allowed to pick up a certain category or read certain books directed to a certain market. Like, it doesn't add up. Read what you want to read when you want to read it. Do you like my buns? Tried to make them cute. I wanted to make this video because these books are books that shaped my childhood and some of them I still read to this day. When you think of the term middle grade, you usually think of more popular books like Harry Potter or Percy Jackson or books like Wonder. And while all of those books are exceptional, I wanted to introduce you to some books you may have heard of and some you might not have. I wanted to create a little bit of variety and I hope you pick up these books and enjoy them. Let's begin, shall we? The first book I have for you today is There's a Boy in the Girl's Bathroom by Louis Sachar. Louis Sachar writes wonderful middle grade books. My 4th grade teacher read this book to our class and I still read it to this day. This book follows a boy named Bradley Chalkers who's known to be a troublemaker. Their school is hiring a new counselor and there's a new boy named Jeff arriving at the school. This new boy, Jeff, is unaware of Bradley's behavioral issues. All in all, it is just such a touching book that follows Bradley as a troublemaker, go through some self-reflection. The relationships that Bradley has with each character is so pure. The new counselor, Carla, who arrives at the school, is also such a wonderful character. Another thing I liked about this book is how it raises a lot of questions. Some questions it helps raise include if parents are okay with having another adult advise their children, whether counselors have the expertise to learn confidential things with their students. All in all, this book is just the best. It makes you cry at the end, at least it made me. Throughout the whole book, you just go so attached to Bradley and the little trouble he gets in and you just want the best for him. Highly recommend you to pick it up. The next book, I am so glad I get to share this with you. I love it with my whole entire heart and more. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I have lost count on how many times I've reread this book. And that book is The Weston Game by Ellen Raskin. If you can tell by its beat up quality, it's been through a lot. I first read this book when I participated in my school's Battle of the Books Club, which was like a reading competition. I don't know if every school had this, but my school did. Not to brag, I won in 4th grade and 5th grade. I really want to make a story time because those were some interesting experiences. I want you guys to go into this book knowing the very least because you can never expect it. At least that's what I loved about it when I was a kid. There's a murder, 16 people in one building. One of them did it. If they find out who does it, then they get a cash prize. They're all connected to the victim in some way that they may not know of. There's multiple characters, it's a murder mystery. The characters are all each essential. I love learning about them and their individual desires and motivations. I love all the intertwinedness that happens, how they're all connected. I do agree that the beginning is just a little bit confusing because it gets a little bit info dumpy when you're introduced to each character separately, but trust me, stick with it, you will love it. I've just grown to love this so much on each reread. Ellen Raskin, wonderful job. I just love it. I love it so much. Pick it up. The next book is probably a popular middle grade read, but I'm mentioning it anyway because it's one of my favorite books of all time. And that book is Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. This is yet another book I've read more times than I can count. Even though this book is directed towards middle grade, I think the themes that are explored in this book can apply to any age. You explore the themes of conformity, individuality, and just so much more. This book follows a high schooler named Leo Borlaug that attends school where everyone is the same. Nobody does anything out of the blue. Nobody is their own individual person. There's a new girl that comes into school named Stargirl, and she kind of stirs things up. Although Leo is the main character in this story, I love how we explore Stargirl's journey too, and how she's not just a manic pixie dream girl. Like, she's there for her own growth and her own character journey. The writing is perfect. I love how they describe Stargirl's elusiveness and how she's a character you just can't pin down. There is a movie for this on Disney Plus starring Grace Vanderwaal, but you can tell that they aged the movie down just a little bit, and it doesn't explore much or mean as much to me as this book does. There is a sequel. I would recommend skipping it and pretending it doesn't exist. That would be a good idea. The next book I have is The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. This is a series. I kind of regret I didn't continue on with it. I only read the first book, and I feel like I could have enjoyed the rest of the books in this series. This is yet again another book I think you should know just the bare minimum, maybe a little bit before you go into it. What I personally love about it is that I'm a sucker for secret societies. Anything that happens on behind the scenes and we're only given glimpses of is something I'm in for. This book starts out with a series of tests that these children have to take to determine if they're allowed in this secret society or not. Again, you uncover the details as you go. Secret society, trying to take down a villain. I remember the villain being very creepy. These kids that are very, very intelligent, all coming together, found family-esque. Pick it up if those little facts interest you. The next book I have is Mockingbird by Catherine Erskine. This book is about this girl named Caitlin whose world was very black and white, and then something traumatic happens to her family, and she realizes that there's more gray in this world and she has to get through it. Her dad's story was also very touching on how he recovers from what happened. It's about her journey to get closure after the events that took place. It's a book about learning to live with grief and loss and forgiveness, but also forgiveness to yourself. I'm really glad this was a book I read when I was young. Okay. This book I'm so excited to share with you. I will go to my grave loving this book to death. And that book is Ungifted by Gordon Corman. I love Gordon Corman. He was another author that really shaped my middle school, elementary school experience. He's written tons of books. This one especially stands out to me because, first of all, it's ridiculously funny. I still read this book time to time because that's how good it is. The word gifted has never applied to the main character, Donovan Curtis. He's a troublemaker and he commits this ruse that ends up being one of his biggest mistakes yet, and that leads to him fleeing away and hiding at the gifted school. He is now in a school with smart people and he has to learn how to blend in and not give himself away to get kicked out again. I love how we get to know the smart kids who are not who they seem to be. I love Donovan's family. I'm also a sucker for books where we read through the lenses of multiple characters, so I love how there's multiple storylines connecting into one. It's brilliant. Although I'm not nearly as smart as these kids, like at all, as someone who's been in the gifted program since kindergarten, to see what the program looks like to kids who are not in it is just hilarious. It was just so funny to me. I love to see how Donovan gets out of every mess he entangles himself in, and the characters just went over your heart. You can skip the sequel though. I gave it 1 star. The next book is a really touching one that I think everyone should pick up, and that is The Breadwinner by Deborah Ellis. This is another book we read in school that is just so incredibly powerful. It is about this 11-year-old girl named Pervana who is living in Afghanistan with her family, which is under Taliban rule. An event takes place at the beginning of the book where her father goes missing, and it's a journey about how she's trying to be the main breadwinner of her family and trying to find her father along the way. It is a gut-wrencher. It is so touching. I think it's a very good eye-opener if you're not knowledgeable about the events taking place in the Middle East in the past and right now. There is an animated version on Netflix that is simply mind-blowing. I cried my eyes out watching that. Highly recommend watching the movie. already. We are getting towards the end. There are so many middle grade books I want to talk about because these aren't just it. I read so much more. But for the sake of this video, I have my last one right now. And that book is Who Could It Be at This Hour by Lemony Snicket. Lemony Snicket is most known for his other series, A Series of Unfortunate Events. Although I have read this book 5 times, I have not picked up a book in the rest of the series. Do I know why? No. I did see the Netflix adaptation for this series and I really liked it. I don't know how true fans feel. Who Could It Be at This Hour is a very confusing 4-book series. I've read all 4 books, found all of them wonderful. This is yet another book you should know the bare minimum about because you find clues as you go along. In my opinion, it is so underrated because all you hear about with Lemony Snicket's other series does get confusing at the beginning and you're like, what is happening here to here? But it just all makes sense. There's a boy, there's a mystery, he has to go to this other town, there's a town with secrets and things hiding behind the scenes. He's part of another secret organization. It is just so wonderful and everything connects even more if you continue on after this book. So those are only 8 out of all of my favorite middle grade books. I could talk about middle grade books for like ever. All of them shaped my childhood in different ways that mean the most to me. Comment down below if you love them as much as I did, or even if you didn't like them. Comment down below if you have any other middle grade recommendations. I just want to see if I love them as much as you did. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means the most to me, and that's that. Bye guys!